Yes, the international break is over and the Premier League is back. I hope you enjoyed the international break because me, I didn't enjoy the international break. My country lost. But that being said, it was a nice time to get some rest. And now let's get into the preview of this week's Premier League. Now, we ended the last week Premier League fixture with a very, very mouth-watering game against Arsenal versus Everton. Now, this weekend, there's going to be another Super Sunday. But before then, let's talk about these games that start this weekend Premier League, and let's preview it. Arsenal will be starting this weekend Premier League games against Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest have a new coach. Nottingham Forest are starting a new project. Arsenal finished the last round of fixture against Liverpool with a loss to Liverpool. All right, and they've won at home this season. They've won 5-0 to Leeds. So that is a very good confidence booster. And they've signed fantastic player. They added one more before the transfer window ended in a campaign from Bayer Leverkusen. So they have a very, very good squad. They have a very, very good side. They have not conceded more than one goal this season in the 3 games they've played. So they have a very, very good defense in Arsenal. While for Nottingham Forest, it's not been the very best of start for them. In their last away game, they drew against Crystal Palace. So they've not actually won away from home this season in their game against Crystal Palace. So the form for this both sides, Arsenal has had a fantastic form. Very, very good form recently. The last game against this two sides was a goalless draw against Nottingham Forest. So to me, I think this game will be it won't be too tough for Arsenal because they are playing at home. They are playing at the Emirates. And Nottingham Forest is not a pushover team as well. They are a very, very good side with a new coach, new momentum. Everybody starting on a clean slate. So it's going to be a very tough one for them because they want to showcase something. Postecoglou wants to prove that he is a Premier League coach, proven coach. He is a Premier League level coach. So that's for them. They will want to show something. But I think Arsenal is just too strong for them. Arsenal have everything going well for them. Good firepower. Eberechi Eze. Everybody is doing well. Fit except for Saka. Odegaard is back and the rest. So I think Arsenal is going to take this one. I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. Yes, I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Arsenal. And I see Victor Gyökeres scoring at home again, in this fixture. Now to the next fixture, Bournemouth against Brighton. Bournemouth ended the last round of fixture with a 1-0 victory against Spurs away from home. That was a very, very good victory. That was a statement that, yes, they are still a good side, despite the fact that they have the best of the summer friendlies. Now, or preseason rather. Now, Brighton did a fantastic job in the last round of game, winning 2-1 against Manchester City. So that was a very, very good one at home, to Manchester City. So these two sides are a very good side, attacking wise. They're a very, very good side. At home, the home form for Bournemouth in the last couple of games has not been too bad. They've won 2, they've lost 2, and they've drawn 1. So it has really not been too bad. They just need to start picking form and picking points, at home again this season. The last meeting against this two side hasn't really been all that bad. 2-1 victory for Bournemouth, and also another 2-1 victory, for Brighton. So they have actually matched themselves evenly. And I think these two sides are capable of winning this game. Brighton is capable of winning. Bournemouth is capable of winning. I think whoever wins this game, it will be a 2-1 victory for whoever wins this game. And I'm tipping Bournemouth to take the day. Or Brighton. It's actually confusing me right now. Anybody can pick up this victory. Anyone can pick up this victory. But I think the away form of Bournemouth is quite stronger right now than how it used to be, last season. So I think Brighton will win this one 2-1. Yes, I think Brighton will win this one 2-1. Now to the next fixture, Crystal Palace against Sunderland. Sunderland started this season in a very, very good form, winning 3-0 at home against West Ham. Now they went away and they really do well away from home. But that being said, they came back home also and still won again. So that is a very, very good sign that they are a force to reckon with this season. Crystal Palace has been fantastic. They haven't lost at home in the last 5 games. While for Sunderland, coming into the Premier League, they still want to show something that yes, they're a very, very good side and they can do well, this season. So to me, Crystal Palace have more than what it takes. They have the quality, they have the players who understands the Premier League, they have the players who can really do well. I think for Sunderland this season, it will just be about the home form for them. For them to survive in the Premier League this season, which I think they are going to do very, very well this season, the whole form has to be very, very good. And that is what they started on. And that's what they are doing. They've picked, maximum points at home this season already. So that is a very, very good one for them. While for Crystal Palace, I think they have enough more than what it takes. Mateta is firing on all cylinders. That is a very good striker that they have. The one of the best thing they did in the summer was keeping McGay in the team. So that is a very, very good one, and that's a very good confidence booster for them. I think they're going to carry the day. I think they're going to win this game. I think they're going to win this game 2-0. Crystal Palace is going to win Sunderland 2-0. Now to the next fixture, Everton against Aston Villa. Everton has been reborn this season. Jack Grealish has been firing. Jack Grealish has been super good, in the first 3 matches of this season. That is a very good sign going, into the next fixtures already this season. While Aston Villa, their first match was a draw against Newcastle. They haven't really started too well. Yes, they've actually won a game, but they've not really started too well. Their form away from home has not been too good. Going into last season, and this season, it's been 3 wins and 2 losses away from home. Not too bad for a team like Aston Villa. But for Everton, because of how they started this season, I think they are going to give Aston Villa a very, very tough time. They've been doing well at home already this season. Why? For the coach, he has already stamped his statement on the team that this team can become a winning team with their new stadium and everything. They've really showed that defensively they can be very good, and attacking wise also they can also score goals. So to me, I think Everton have enough of what it takes to win against Aston Villa. All right, this team can score goals. This team can defend very well. So they are not a team that concede too much goals. That's one thing about Everton. That's why most people are very, very scared to stake on Everton. So to me, I think this game should end on a goalless draw. I think Aston Villa would not give in to Everton. Yes, Everton are in form, but they are not going to give in to Everton. So I think this match is going to end on a goalless draw. So let me know what you think about that game as well. While for Fulham against Leeds United, Fulham, like my friend will always say, Fulham are like she's a lady actually. That Fulham are a toxic boyfriend, in the sense that you don't know if they're going to win, you don't know if they're going to lose. That is the kind of team they are. They spring up surprises when you don't expect it. That's the kind of team Fulham is. While for Leeds United, they're just coming from the Championship. They lost their first game at home to Everton. Oh, they won their first game at home to Everton. That is a very good one for them. To me, I think Leeds United doesn't have too much of what they take. They lost 5-0 in their last away fixture to Fulham, to Arsenal. So to me, I think their last 2 games between these 2 teams has been 2-1. To Fulham, and 2-0 to Fulham. So Fulham has taken the day, against this Leeds United team. Fulham drew their last match against Manchester United at home. They came back. They had to fight for that win. They went away to Chelsea and they lost, but it was very narrow. Now, to me, this Fulham side is capable of defeating Leeds United. To me, I think they are going to have one better over Leeds United. They went into the market in the summer transfer window and they signed Kelvin towards the end of the summer transfer window. That was a very good boost. They signed Chukwueze on loan. That was a very good one. 2 fantastic wingers coming into the team, boosting the team confidence. So I think they have more than what it takes to pick up victory against Leeds United. So I think, to me, that would be a 2-0 victory for Fulham. Fulham have more than what it takes, to defeat, Leeds United. So I give it to Fulham. Fulham 2, Leeds United no. Now going to the next game, Newcastle against Wolves. Newcastle are a wounded lion. The match against Liverpool, they nearly took a point out of that game, and they finally dropped points with a late winner from Rio Nguoma. Well, also they've not really started the season very well. They also lost, they drew rather to Aston Villa in the very, very first game. That being said, I think Wolves has not really started the season very well. They lost their first game 4-0 to Manchester City, while their last game as well away from home they lost to Bournemouth. So it has not really started well for them. So due to the fact that Newcastle have not really started the season very well, they lost their last game. They've not really started the season very well. So they are a wounded lion. They signed two fantastic strikers in Wissa and Votimada, who they signed for a very, very huge sum of money from Stuttgart. So that is a confidence booster. Now they have two strikers. As of last week, they had just one striker in Unsula. Now they have three strikers in the team, two senior strikers in Wissa and Votimada. So I think that is a confidence booster to them, that now they can start their season proper. So I think, without speaking too much, I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Newcastle over Wolves. Wolves is going to try. They have a new striker in Tolu Arokodare from Nigeria. But I think Newcastle have much than what it takes to defeat Wolves. So I think it's going to be a 3-1 victory for Newcastle over Wolves. Now to West Ham against Spurs. West Ham has not started the season very well. They lost 3-0 to Sunderland, away from home in the first match. They lost the second match 5-1 at home to Chelsea. That is not a very, very good start for West Ham. But they won 3-0 away from home to Nottingham Forest. So that is a confidence booster. Now, for Spurs, they started the season on fire. 2 games on the bounce. 2-0 against Burnley. 2-0 away from home against Manchester City. That was a very good one. But when they had to ride on that confidence, they lost at home to Burnley, to Bournemouth. That was a shocker. Nobody expected that. But that being said, this game is a derby, whether we like it or not. Is a derby. It's going to be very tough. It's a London derby. West Ham have lost at home. They will not want to lose at home again. But their form at home has been very, very poor. 2 losses and 3 draws at home in the last 5 games in the Premier League, and they've not won. While for Spurs, it's been 3 losses, 1 win and 1 draw away from home. But this is a new season. This is a new coach, a different pattern, a different style of play and everything. So I think with that and with the form of West Ham, I think Graham Potter is working on eggshells at this point. But that being said, Tottenham lost their last match. They are wounded. They are not happy. They want to win. But going over to London Stadium will be hard. It will be very, very difficult because this is a derby, like I said earlier. I would want to say it's a draw. I really, really want to say it's a draw. I think it will be a draw. But to me, I think Tottenham Hotspur will do one better. And I think it's going to be a 2-1 victory for Tottenham Hotspur over West Ham. Now to the next match, Brentford against Chelsea. Chelsea has not had it good away from Brentford. In the last 3 matches, it has been goalless draw away from Brentford. Now, note that is when Wissa and Mbeumo were still in the team. Now they have Ouattara. That doesn't mean they are not a good side, but they have dropped in quality. Now for Brentford, a very good side. Defensively, they are solid at home. For Chelsea, away from home, it has not been superb away at Brentford. One of Chelsea's last match at Newcastle last season, Chelsea lost. So it has not been too good away from home. But they won. They pick up victory against Nottingham Forest. They pick up victory against Fulham in the right to qualify for the Champions League last season. But this is a new season, a very quality Chelsea side. But I think this season for Bournemouth, for Brentford, they would depend more on their defense than their attack because they have dropped in quality in attack. But that being said, I think this match will still be very difficult for Chelsea. I think it will still be very difficult because Cole Palmer should have made a difference, but his absence speaks a lot. And this is a game after the international break. After the international break, Chelsea are not always that strong side, going after the international break, but going away from Brentford, which is a difficult game after the international break, I think is going to be very, very difficult. So I see Chelsea picking up a 1-1 draw away from home at Brentford. Now, to the game, Burnley against Liverpool. Liverpool, a title contending side who wants to win the Premier League. Burnley, a team who is coming from the relegation waters. A team who is coming from the relegation, and they will be swimming around that relegation waters, in this season. They will be swimming around there so much this season because they are not too much of a quality side compared to Liverpool. Liverpool away from home won a very difficult game against Newcastle. Now they are playing against Burnley. Burnley, their last match at home, they won against Sunderland, but that is a fellow, relegation side. So Liverpool has all the quality. Remember, they just signed Isak, so that is a confidence booster to them. A team who won against Arsenal at home, that is a very, very good side. So to me, they've not really had the best of form away from home. Let's be honest. Against, last season they lost against Chelsea. Last season they lost against Brighton. They lost against Fulham. They won against Leicester City. So it has not been the best of form for Liverpool away from home. But that being said, I think Liverpool have everything it takes to defeat Burnley. Burnley is not a side to cause Liverpool too much problem. So I think Liverpool will win 3-0. 3-0. Now, next to the most important match for the weekend, the Super Sunday, Manchester City against Manchester United. It has always been a tough one for these two sides whenever they meet each other. Now, these two sides are not in form. These two sides has not started this season very well. 1 win in 3 matches for these two sides. Now, Manchester City have too much of injuries in that team. While Manchester United has been down on confidence, but it's a very good one. They won their last match, but away from home, it has not been the best. It has not been the best for Manchester United. If we say let us go back to last season, they've been losing and drawing and losing at home. They drew against Fulham in their last match. Last season, they lost against Chelsea away from home. They lost against Brentford. They drew against Bournemouth. They drew against Newcastle. So it has not been the best. While for Manchester City, they lost their last match against Brighton. Now, that is a dent on their form this season. They lost also at home, to Spurs. So it has not been the best of start. And now losing Mamouche to injury, losing most of their players to injury is a sad one. But the confidence booster to them is they are getting a very good quality goalkeeper in their side in Donnarumma. But that being said, I think this match is going to be tough for both sides. This is a derby. This is a Manchester derby. It's really, really going to be tough for both sides. I don't see any side picking up victories here. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it's going to be a goalless draw for Manchester, because whenever Manchester United meets Manchester City, they always find that form. They always find a way to perform. So I think it's going to be a draw. It's going to be a draw, 0-0 draw for Manchester City and Manchester United. So let me know what you think about these things. Let me know what you think about the previews. Share your predictions also in the comment section. If you're new to this channel, hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. Until I come away again next time, if you're betting, bet responsibly. And also remember, all predictions here are from my head and it is not 100% sure. So bet wisely and share your thoughts in the comment section. Until I come away again next time, I remain your boy Mike Way. Stay cool. Cheers.